a leaked security camera video has surfaced, showing Rachel Zegler, the production star, being forcibly escorted off the stage, against her will, while the entire cast and crew froze in stunned silence. The music stopped, the action stopped, and what followed has sent shockwaves through the theater world. This wasn't a dramatic moment scripted for the show, it was a very real breakdown, the climax of weeks of tension nobody expected. Now, with rumors swirling about possible recasting and the future of the production in serious jeopardy, one question remains. Can EVITA survive this unprecedented meltdown? Or is this the end of Rachel Zegler's Broadway dreams? The now infamous video leaked from an EVITA rehearsal shows a moment that has completely taken over theater gossip circles. It starts in what looks like a typical run-through. Rachel Zegler is on stage, mid-performance, with music playing and the ensemble around her. But then, something shifts. A sudden pause in her movements, an exchange of words off mic with someone near the wings. The music abruptly stops, and you can almost feel the tension building through the grainy camera footage. It's like the moment before a thunderstorm. Everything just holds its breath. It's the kind of awkward pause that happens when someone forgets they're not the center of the universe. Then, out of nowhere, two security guards appear. One from stage left, the other from stage right. They approach Zegler calmly, but deliberately. There's a brief conversation where Zegler seems visibly upset. Her body language stiffens and her arms fold tightly. She says something, inaudible in the clip, but she clearly doesn't want to leave. Despite her resistance, the guards escort her off stage as she throws a few glances back at the shocked cast and crew. No screaming, no theatrics, just a slow, tense exit. Hollywood loves drama, but sometimes the biggest drama comes from someone refusing to take direction. What's just as striking as the removal itself is the way the entire room reacts, or rather, doesn't. As Zegler's walked away, the entire cast and crew stand completely still. No one moves. The musicians drop their instruments. The ensemble doesn't shift an inch. It's like someone hit pause on the entire production. Some cast members appear stunned, others just look exhausted. It's obvious this wasn't the first sign of trouble. That kind of silence usually follows when people are too afraid to say what they're all thinking. Here we go again. While the initial reaction online included theories that this was part of a unique, experimental rehearsal technique, that idea was quickly debunked. Multiple sources connected to the production confirmed it wasn't planned and had nothing to do with the performance itself. One crew member reportedly told an Insider Theater blog, "There was nothing artistic about what happened. We all knew the pressure was building. We just didn't think it would come to that." When even theater people, who deal with meltdowns for a living, call it too much, you know someone's ego got way too big for the stage. When Rachel Zegler was first announced as the lead in EVITA, it felt like a dream pairing, at least on paper. She was young, vocal about her love for musical theater, and eager to take on a role as culturally significant as Eva Peron. In interviews, she couldn't stop gushing about it. Transformative, life-changing, and an honor beyond words were just a few of the phrases she used to describe the opportunity. It's always transformative until the Wi-Fi's bad and someone dares to give you notes. Her social media was practically a digital scrapbook of rehearsal selfies, tearful video reflections, and history deep dives on Eva Peron. She spoke passionately about bringing depth to the character and respecting the legacy. For a while, it seemed like she was pouring her heart into the role. Her followers were eating it up, and entertainment outlets praised her as a bold casting choice who could bridge Broadway tradition with modern star power. Hollywood keeps confusing loud enthusiasm with actual professionalism. The initial media buzz was glowing. Fans rallied behind her, especially those who saw her casting as a win for representation and modern relevance. Journalists framed her as a rising star, bringing fresh energy to a classic role. It looked like a redemption arc in motion, After a few rocky years of PR slip-ups, Zegler seemed poised for a theatrical breakthrough. Funny how quickly the narrative changes when you have to do actual work instead of posting about it. Then, almost overnight, the excitement vanished. Zegler's once frequent rehearsal updates disappeared from her feed. Her behind-the-scenes enthusiasm turned into silence. The posts that did show up became vague and emotionally charged. Cryptic captions, moody photos, and the occasional deleted tweet. Fans began to notice the change and speculate. Posting like a tortured poet doesn't make you a better performer. It just screams, diva energy. Eventually, private messages began leaking onto fan accounts. In them, Zegler allegedly described the production as unsafe, hostile, and creatively gaslighting. She hinted at emotional distress and an oppressive environment that stifled her artistic input. The tone was a sharp contrast from her earlier praise, leading many to wonder what had happened behind the curtain. It's amazing how quickly life-changing becomes toxic when you're not allowed to rewrite the script. Sources close to the show offered a different angle. According to insiders, the production hadn't changed. Zegler had. As the rehearsal process intensified, they say she became increasingly frustrated, especially when her ideas clashed with the vision of director Jamie Lloyd and the ensemble-driven nature of the show. What she once called collaborative soon became, in her words, controlling. Turns out collaboration isn't code for let me do whatever I want. At the heart of the backstage chaos were growing creative differences. EVITA, as reimagined by Jamie Lloyd, wasn't centered around a single show-stopping star. It demanded tight coordination, ensemble precision, and a disciplined pace. For someone used to being the center of attention, this may have come as a rude awakening. Not every role is written to be a TikTok highlight reel. Sources suggest Zegler began to struggle with the reality that EVITA wasn't designed to be a one-woman spectacle. While the role of Eva Peron is undeniably central, the storytelling depends heavily on supporting players and tightly choreographed ensemble work. The spotlight was shared, and reportedly, that didn't sit well. Some actors want the stage to revolve around them, even when the story doesn't. Director Jamie Lloyd, known for his exacting, minimalist style and high standards, reportedly pushed the cast hard to maintain cohesion. While many adapted to his process, Zegler allegedly resisted. Rehearsals became tense, with reports of disagreements, walk-offs, and emotional friction that never quite got resolved. Creative vision is hard to follow when your only compass is your ego. The theater community hasn't exactly stayed quiet since the video leaked. Reactions have been split, with some performers and fans rushing to defend Rachel Zegler, citing mental health, creative stress, and toxic rehearsal environments as possible factors. Others, especially those with experience in high-stakes productions, are siding with the crew, pointing out that rehearsals aren't therapy sessions, they're workplaces with deadlines, discipline, and demands. At some point, self-care starts to look a lot like not doing your job. This division has sparked bigger conversations online. Some are calling this a reckoning about how young actors are treated in legacy productions. Others are warning that we're entering a dangerous zone where any professional disagreement gets spun into a personal trauma narrative. One side argues Zegler was creatively stifled. The other says she just didn't want to be told no. In group chats and industry forums, it's been described as everything from a meltdown to a mutiny. Modern Hollywood loves to turn every rehearsal room into a TED Talk on feelings. Meanwhile, the big question looms over the production. What does this mean for EVITA? With only weeks left before curtain up at the Palladium, rumors are flying. Some say rehearsals are paused, others hint that Zegler may be quietly replaced. The production team hasn't issued any public statements, but insiders say there's a lot of damage control happening behind the scenes. No one wants the show to implode before opening night. Maybe next time, cast someone more focused on notes than notion boards.